Hi there. It's dark Tuesday afternoon, and today is the 17th of August, 2021. So the sky is quite uh, downcast. Yes. So many things that can get us down are happening. It would seem that every worthy news item that we read today can bring us down because somehow, diba, as we sympathize with the pain, with the fear and the dread and the desperation of another human being, in fact, um, it would seem like a very big segment of the population in Afghanistan are in they're in turmoil, in chaos. So our prayers, not only that, for the victims of the earthquake in Haiti, we also sympathize with them. And, I shudder to think how COVID uh, will take advantage of that situation in those places. But, well, here in our own place, um, later on, I'm going to show clips about the things that occupy me. Why in the last months I could hardly reply and I could hardly go out socially. Of course, that's not possible nowadays. But even socially, virtual social interaction that had been hard for me, and I'm going to not only speak about it, but show you how it had been and why we were so driven and what had motivated us to wake up every day early in the morning to stick with the routine. We discipline ourselves, our how we watch cash, financial management, why they are important to us. So for now, just a brief background there. Had this home improvement, had it taken place in 2018, when my bank account would say that I have more than 1 million liquidity, diba? So why did I not begin this house improvement back then? Well, back then, when I realized that uh, it doesn't matter how much money I had spent, even then, um, the revolving door will not be stopped. When I say a revolving door, it would seem like, okay, there's a new allegation about this Clarissa calling up this male guy and, making weird statements and parang sending uh, pictures which are so bizarre. And then it turned out, oh, hindi pala, may context and meron palang premise why the need for a formal communication. Okay, last week, she had, what? She had explained herself, she had justified herself, but probably in the coming week, she will do that. The premise was that there might be something that she would do that would legally make her forever incompetent. Yeah, that's it, diba? Parang, okay, so last week, even if that Clarissa did not do all these things to the complainant or to whoever is being harassed, then probably next week she is bound to harass or, make somebody's life hard or unbearable or disturbed, diba? So that was back in 2018. I have to be honest about it. And so I had prioritized instead that if we are going to have a house improvement, I want to make sure that there is no mistake about who are the residents living in that house that will be renovated or that will be improved, and will they be able to live there, as in they are not being hounded by law due to the unsettled debt to society or to whomever, diba? I had wanted to make sure that the house improvement that we're going to undertake, we will be able to enjoy that, the fruit of our labor. And so that was in 2018. And another consideration, why only now, is that there's a sustainability factor. So there is money for the roof today, but how about the bill that had to be that has to be paid within the same week? Okay, there's money for the paint, for the new paint job, but how about the coming disconnection notice from the utility, diba? So the sustainability, we have learned to depend on, not to count the chicks before the eggs are hatched. We've learned the hard way that in as much as people will want to help you, sometimes their own circumstances will prevent them. So it is better for everyone to be more independent than before. Diba? It's not, I don't think, experience sometimes it's very costly. And I'd like to say thank you as well for those who are helping us now. So that, this is no longer true that, a generic woman calling up a married man there will be a sordid interpretation for the call, for the communication, and for the follow-up, and that is no longer true. But if I'm going to be asked, did it actually happen? Yes, it happened to me. Yes, I've been confronted. I've been asked to explain myself. Even my daughters, whom I thought were not that interested in my business, had one day approached me and said, "Ma, uh, parang ano ba yan? Bakit may narinig kaming ganyan? Bakit ganon?" So there were instances that I had addressed first that I made sure will not happen again on hindsight about it. So it's not because walang pagpaplano, kaya kumbaga, the conventional wisdom would dictate that ngayon na ako dapat magpaayos kasi may budget. But having experienced the circumstance that we're in, I am also guided by lessons learned, diba? In hindsight. So the strategic planning that I am doing, they have basis and not just capricious, not just as an afterthought or impulsive decision making. So, and in this video, in this broadcast, I want to say once and for all that it is not true that I was leading a double life knowingly and unknowingly. Actually, my friends, like who are based in Manila, they were able at some point in our friendship, they were able to come here and I was able to introduce them either to my family or to my church family. So, nung nagkaroon ng, oh my gosh, parang nagkaroon ng reveal, sort of reveal, ang dami, most of my family relatives said, Hindi namin nalaman yan. Hindi namin nalaman yan. Because during that time, wala namang problema. Hindi lang talaga nagkaroon ng pagkakataon because before developing a special friendship that can be, that can qualify as a serious romantic relationship with the direction of being a long term. Hindi na parang hindi may nauumpog because of priorities and values. It's no joke to be a single parent. So my first and my top priority even then was how to be a good parent to my daughters at the cost of my own happiness, diba? So palagi ko tinitingnan yung angle na yun na if I'm going to have a relationship with someone, how will this setup be? And right then, the demand for a financial source was so great na magkakaroon talaga ng conflict if I will not do parang double effort to fill up the void. So I want to make special mention of those friends who were able to reach Lucena City through me. Diba? I invited them. I had made special invitation for them, to spend time, just to see. I wasn't always a hermit. It had happened because of the priorities, but back then, my life was so normal, so ordinary, boringly ordinary and so normal. So I want to mention an example na rin, di ba, of how in my, after submitting business proposition, I did research work, I called up some friends, I called up mga old contacts na alam kong makakatulong sa akin. Of course, there is the underlying premise that as friends, I hope that they will not disappoint me. So it's true, I call them up. And it's true that even yung mga hindi ko pa nakikilala in person, I had written to them and I had introduced myself. And, I had went directly to the issue at hand, di ba? Kung ano yung kailangan ko at kung anong pakay ng talaga information and business consultancy to their company, to their person, to their position in the company. So, as kabatch and as one belonging to class NF, batch 85 of Quezon National High School, syempre, sino pa ba naman ang una kong lalapitan kung hindi yung mga kaklase ko ng high school? So I'm giving this example kung paano, kasi sila yung mga science and math whiz. Iba kasi yung linya ko. So, I'm speaking about my friend, si Mel Ognial. Naka-base siya sa Sariaya, Quezon. So, tinawagan ko siya kasi nagtatrabaho siya dati sa Honda and meron akong pending na business proposition sa Tanchong Motor which came from my letter to Brian Koo of Grab. So, di ba? So, kasi yun yung mga nakikita ko na nung sa section namin, meron kaming thread sa FB. Sinasabi ng musa si Mel, tapos wala siyang work ngayon in line with his background, diba? Sa college, sa degree niya. So sabi ko, kung mag-work at magkaroon ng breakthrough with this Malaysian, diba, company, conglomerates, inaalam ko na kung sino yung mga posible na tumulong sa akin in whatever way para lang alam ko kung ano yung hindi ko alam. Because at that point, hindi ko pa alam ang hindi ko pa alam. I don't know what I don't know, diba? So, parang napaka-broad. What's it about? So, yung mga ganun. And I usually get teasing because it's common knowledge, no high school, that ako ang crush ni Mel. And somehow, di ba, parang, oy, kumusta na, ganyan-ganyan. So, I would like to say hi. Tapos nung nalaman ko na later on, it's a small world after all pala talaga. Because nung pumapasok ako sa Kapitolyo and I met the employees of Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Kumbaga, dati po si Secretary Vargas pa ang secretary. Ngayon po ay si Attorney Xavier Sia. So, yon. So, but then, si Secretary Vargas. And dun ko po nakilala si Tita Glee. And then later on, I found out that her middle name is Glee and Verga Obial. And then I got to meet her husband, si Tito Sammy Obial. Na, sabi ko, Obial? Ay, so, siya, nung classmate ko rin nung high school. See, it's a small world, diba? So, and then, kumusta ka na, ganyan. And then I learned, and I would see the posts back then kasi nakapag-FB pa ako socially. And then I saw that he has beautiful daughters. I also got to meet his wife nung reunion namin, batch 85, so yon. And then I talked with him with regards to my submitted proposition about a car company, a manufacturing company, na kasi naka-base na si Mel, si Ermelo, si Sariaya. So, yun. That was the only time I haven't met him in person, pero yun yung time na I got to talk to him and I would, I would open a chat with him. But to differentiate that from the real McCoy. So when my girls were younger, hindi ko sila basta-basta pwedeng pagkwentuhan na, oh my gosh, I met this guy. And I later found out that nasa PGH pala siya nag-clinic and surgeon pala siya. Hi, Doc Mario. So, and he came over. So I kwento ko sa mama ko, tapos nakita ng mama ko, oy, ina-ayos ko yung house. Sabi niya, ano nakain mo? Ba't ina-ayos mo yung bahay? Sabi ko, maybe I'm going to bring someone here and introduce him to you. Kasi I met him. So, yun talaga ng mga, the normalcy of how it had been after my separation from June Garcia, diba? So, and then there was a time, even before that, I wasn't feeling good. Sabi ko kay Armin. Sabi ko, pumunta ka naman ng Lucena dito kasi parang, kwento ako ng kwento and wala naman nakikita yung mga tao dito. So parang inimbento ko lang ba? Kwento ko ng kwento about, sinabi ko rin naman kung paano ko kinikwento ang mga friends ko sa Lucena, kinikwento ko sa kanya, at siya naman kinikwento ko sa friends ko dito. So, sabi ko, parang hindi makatotohanan, parang hindi realistic na, hindi ko man lang ikaw mapapakilala. So, at that time, even before magkaroon ng mga showdown, mga confrontation ng, oh, what am I to you and who you are to me, magkaroon ng i-verbalize namin ang expectations sa isa't isa na magkaiba pala, di ba? So, but before that, he came over. So, yun yung mga tagpo na so, parang hindi naman siya out of ordinary na nawala because of several pressing issues that had already taken place. And with that, I want to invite you to watch this video which will somehow explain. This will explain why I have refrained from so much complication na hindi magkakaroon ng solution ang pang-araw-araw namin na hinaharap. This is a time for us. Yeah. So this is it. I'm saying na, kumbaga, dati, di ba sa Tagalog we say it, panahon yan. Okay, may panahon na I have to concentrate on being a good parent to my daughters. So I cannot entertain seriousness in my relationship kasi talagang nag-enjoy din ako na I was growing up alongside my own growing daughters. And then this happened. Watch.
Someday there'll be when she's torn by courage born of a love that's free. And time of dreams so long denied can flourish as we
Hello, today is the 17th of August 2021. It's a Tuesday, and what you can see on screen is the wall that had uh, tortured us for the longest time because we could not do anything about it in our own time, diba? With all the intervening events in our life, we could not address this wall, which is symbolizes somewhat in our own little way the life that we had come to overcome. So, eto po, I am in Jacqueline's room, and this is our DIY. As I mentioned before, marami pong andun muna yung mga things niya in the living room. We have construction boom in our neighborhood, and thankfully, thank God, meron din kami small lang, parang portion by portion of improving this place we call home. So, ayan. This is our DIY, but there are two workers who are going to fix our roof and our kitchen. See, I want to take you to the DIY that we hope to contribute to the videos of DIYs of different households as they encounter fill up the lockdown on account of the pandemic. And I just want to say that my prayers, the earthquake in Haiti, war-torn Afghanistan, and at various places we encounter problems, nature, natural, man-made, all kinds of calamity, viral. That is the world we live in, and so this is some kind of Jacqueline terms this as a therapy for her to release her of stress. And in this one portion of our house, one portion within the location that we are in, we are able to control something, diba? It's important for us to have that in this wall as we prepare it for painting, as we prepare room by room, we are accomplishing something, and it's good for us, you know. It gives us tranquility, peace amidst chaos. It helps us, it keeps us on track and focus on the things that we can control and do something about. So, this is our wall. What about yours? So really what compels me now to address this very contentious subject matter is that for each time that I'm being linked to a woman out there or a partner is being affected, like they would be so irritated by the questions and by the rumor, for me to address it head on so that each of us can proceed without much difficulty, diba? So when I said that I am single and my ID says I am lying, it's one of those things wherein I would be asking you to suspend your judgment and for the context and the premises and the explanation to have a place in the conversation because of the uniqueness of the situation that we're in.
So there you go. The timing now, the reason we are at liberty to parang contribute for the improvement of our place is that these girls will have somebody with them, yours truly, their mother, who is not a stalker, who has not harassed anybody, diba? We had been so occupied with logistics-related activities. Talagang lagi kami nagkikwenta, okay, magkano magagastos natin if we're going to do this room first. So, paano kami makakatipid? So, saan tayo kukuha ng carpintero, ng workers. So we had been so occupied with these things na ngayon lang siya mangyayari, and nakakatuwa din that we have something, every day we look forward to what will happen. So, paano tayo mag-produce, sino magpo-contribute ng ganito, kailan dadating yung pera natin. So, ang layo niya from the controversies that had so restrained the use of our name in the normal sense, in the ordinary way that we were able to capitalize on the name, because what's in the name was bank records, loan sa bank, sales, commission, investment. Yun po yung nasa pangalan ko na hindi ko maggamit for the longest time dahil na-involve yung name ko sa mga sabihin na natin na lahat ng klase ng pwedeng i-PRO. So, that's it for now. It's 32 minutes, and thank you so much for those who have watched and who have been part of this show, this broadcast. And let me end it with this verse. I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope, plans to bless you and not to harm you. So, yun po yung pinanghahawakan ko, notwithstanding kung ano man po ang nangyayari, which is, hindi na po tayo dapat magulat sa kaliwat kanan ng mga nangyayari sa ngayon. This is yours truly, Clarisse talaga. And until tomorrow, thank you so much.